I wish that I had closed my eyes so I didn't see this scene because animal crackers are not meant to be near the vag. Well, you're gonna eat it too. Well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because animal crackers are not meant to be near the vag. I'm John Renton with the retro review of Armageddon from 1998. And provided that absolute desecration of Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing didn't run you off, let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comments, please. It comes to us courtesy of Michael Bay. This is an example of good and bad Michael Bay. There are entertaining moments to this movie. Some of the cast is fucking hilarious. Also, this movie defies every goddamn scientific law and scientific piece of knowledge in existence. How the fuck did anybody survive this shit? How were they able to train oil drillers to be astronauts? Haha, good old MXC. How were they able to train them to just go up there and then butcher the whole goddamn thing? Why did more of the actual astronauts die? Oh, right, because we had to put this ragtag group of astronauts up there, and they decided to drill and pound into this goddamn meteor the size of Texas is speeding towards Earth. And if you don't get it blown up in the smithereens before it hits this zero barrier, then every piece of, well, the planet is absolutely fucked. Every person is fucked, and that's it. Yeah, Armageddon is not very good. I mean, I remember watching it a couple times when it was in theaters, and I had affection for it back when, before I really started watching a whole bunch of movies and realizing, Michael Bay's not a very good director. I did retro review The Rock recently, as in just about a day ago, and that's an example of great Michael Bay direction, because even though stuff blows up, the cast succeeds despite the fact Michael Bay had something to do with it. I'm not the biggest Michael Bay fan, in case you can't tell. 3 people wrote this movie. 3 people wrote a goddamn movie about oil drillers going up to split a Texas-sized meteor in 2. You want to know who one of the writers was? J.J. Abrams. Yes, the future director of Super 8 and Star Wars Episode 7 and 9. And everybody, and so many goddamn movies that this man has had something to do with. I mean, he did Joyride, Forever Young, because Mel Gibson wants to be forever young, and he will hate the Jewish people and be forever young, forever young. Super 8, by the way, fairly underrated. I actually really like that movie. Also, Robert Roypool. That just sounds like a mob name. He did Outbreak. Remember Outbreak? Boy, that movie is awfully relevant now, isn't it? And Jonathan Hensley. I assume that's how you pronounce it. Maybe he's German. Maybe he knew grandparents that were in Austria during the war. That's absolutely terrible. That's a bad thing to accuse him of. Anyway, he did Die Hard 3, Jumanji, the other Jumanji, as well as The Punisher, and Next, and the Young Indiana Jones movies, the movies and also the series, I assume, and he did The Saint. Remember when Val Kilmer had a career and then before unfortunate health issues took hold? Poor Val Kilmer. So yeah, this has Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler. How has Liv Tyler had a movie career despite the fact she is incapable of any acting? She is not very good. Like, she isn't good in this. She isn't really good in much of anything. I didn't really like the fact that she lived at the end of The Strangers. Sorry for the spoiler, but that movie's been out for 14 fucking years. Has Billy Bob Thornton in it. Has Will Patton, Steve Buscemi. Has William Fincher. I assume that's how you say it. Owen Wilson, Michael Clark Duncan, Keith David, Jason Isaacs, Udo Kier, and Made in Taiwan. That guy, because I can never pronounce his name. Yes, Jason Isaacs in this is just absolutely hilarious. But Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan. Good God. What a hell of a talent. Big man, big wrestling fan. Really, really fucking sad how he passed away. So, yeah, Texas-side asteroid. Or meteor, or whatever. A giant piece of rock is heading to Earth, and only Bruce Willis and his ragtag group of oil drillers can save the day. Because NASA's completely out of fucking ideas, and Michael Bay's a goddamn idiot when it comes to making movies. 3 people wrote this. 3 people. If you have not seen Armageddon, then I'm going to spoil it, because A, it's a retro review, and missing out on this movie will not haunt you at all. But this is the second asteroid-based movie speeding towards Earth that came out within a couple months in 1998. The other one was Deep Impact, which wasn't great, but somehow was more grounded than this, ironically, since it's about an asteroid heading towards Earth. And also, this kind of reminded me and was a precursor to Space Cowboys, because they call him Maurice. Woo, woo. So, yeah, Space Cowboys, that came out in 2000. and it had Clint Eastwood, who was older than dirt back then. So, enough talking about ages of people. Charlton Heston talks about, how a meteor smashed into Earth. The dinosaurs were on a lush, lavish planet, and it hit with the force of 10,000 nuclear warheads and a trillion tons of Earth or dust and everything blanketed the atmosphere that the sun was powerless to penetrate for 1,000 years. It happened before. It will happen again. It's just a question of when. You blew it up. God damn you, you blew it up. Guns don't kill people. Apes with guns kill people. Charlton Heston is dead, right? He's been dead for a while. I assume he has. He looked like he was about to die about 10 years before he did. He's got to be dead. Anyway, so 65 million years later, thanks. I wouldn't have known that we were on current day Earth if you hadn't said 65 million years later. You literally could have just gone to and said present day. So then a meteor shower destroys the space station. That's no moon, it's being destroyed by a space station. That's not how that line works. And then asteroids and meteors and pieces head towards Earth, and New York gets flattened while a guy has a boxer terrier with him. I assume it's a boxer terrier. I'm not really familiar with my goddamn dog breeds, but the dog was the best actor in the goddamn scene. There's one black, because black stereotypes are just all over the goddamn New York scene for some reason, because, well, Michael Bay certainly doesn't mind leaning into stereotypes. A cab driver says, Saddam Hussein's bombing us because 1998. And, a New York skyscraper's falling and people are falling out of it. Talk about things that haven't aged well. I mean, nobody could know that would happen, but, Oh, it's sad. It's sad. What isn't sad is watching the Hubble capture images of this Texas-sized asteroid. And it's what we call a global killer. That needs to be the finisher of a wrestler. That just absolutely, the global killer, and he's just flattened, and Earth has been completely destroyed. I mean, wrestling's already bonkers and stupid as it were, so why not call him that? All right, we have 18 days before it hits the Earth. So we don't have a lot of time then. So basically, I can cancel my appointments after 18 days. I can cancel my therapy appointment. Oh, I don't have to pay my credit card next month. I can spend all that up. Oh, wait, just wait. Don't spend that credit card up yet, because we have an idea. And by we, I mean the 3 writers. 3 writers that wrote this. 3! You could have had a fucking chimpanzee write this goddamn thing. So, we go to the South China Sea, and Harry Stamper, Harry S. Stamper, who, I don't know what the S stands for, I have no idea. But Bruce Willis is hitting golf balls at some protesters that are upset about drilling. You have to run a diesel-powered ship. And it was so diesel-powered that it tore its quad. Mid-90s WWF fans are absolutely dying laughing in the comments right there. And who decided to drill an extra 150 feet with this thing? God damn it, AJ! Oh man, the oil drilling community, again, wrestling fans of a while will absolutely be dying in the comments. And where is AJ? Oh, he's in his little bunk. But he's sleeping with Grace, the one woman that's on the goddamn thing. And he's the one guy that she can trust. And so he's upset. Harry is chasing after AJ on an oil rig while investors are coming here. And he's chasing him with a shotgun. Shotguns around flammable liquid. Not exactly a great idea. NASA's trying to look for answers and figure out what the fuck's going on. Make your peace with God, AJ! The writing is as crisp as a goddamn mushy apple. Man, Michael Clark Duncan. That's what I wrote down. Michael Clark Duncan was great. I thought of retroviewing The Green Mile. I can't watch The Green Mile again. So it's fucking sad. That guard got his comeuppance, so. So anyway, shooting around an oil rig safe enough. I mean, whatever. It's Die Hard 4 Oil Rig Edition. They've done 5 Die Hards, or they were possibly going to do a 6th one, but Bruce Willis's health, I don't think, is going to allow that. Also, Die Hard 4 and 5 were absolutely shit. So anyway, Harry and Grace argue because she wants to be with AJ. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. And she quits. But then that doesn't end up actually holding water, ironically, since they're in the South China Sea. They basically argue more, And then we go back to NASA. Keith David says, why don't we just send 150 nukes up there and blow this damn thing out of space? Terrible idea, Jason Isaac says. Was I talking to you? This is Dr. Ronald Quincy from Research. Pretty much the smartest man on the planet. You might want to listen to him. You can launch every nuke you want, and she'll keep smiling and coming at you. If you have a firecracker in your hand and it goes up, you burn your hand. But you close your hand around that firecracker and it blows up, your wife will be opening your ketchup bottles for the rest of your life. How many ketchup bottles are you planning to open? Just get it in a squeeze bottle, you idiots. I know it was 1998, but it was a somewhat civilized society, despite the fact that Y2K hadn't happened yet. So nevertheless, and the worldwide information superhighway was still growing. They were still laying down the electronic tracks. So basically, they're going to get an oil team up there and drill it. NASA apparently has endless supplies of money and absolute idiots running the goddamn thing. So talks to AJ, and then he fires AJ, and then this accident happens because we nearly end up, having a bad system where oil is spilling out, but nobody drinks their milkshake. They don't drink it up. There Will Be Blood. That's something I need to rewatch. It was one performance movie, but boy, what a performance. This movie was not dominated by performances, unless you talk about all the performances being really fucking bad. The Pentagon people arrive, and Rockhound, a.k.a. Steve Buscemi's character, Harry, I swear to God, she never told me her age. No, it's about me. Oh, forget it. Don't worry about it. So, there's this drill design that they're going to use, and Harry's going to teach them how to use it, but you did a piss poor job of putting it together. We got to do all this, and what's this? A $400 ice cream scoop? There you go. And he's just being a goddamn smart. This was when Bruce Willis was at his most smart aleck, because at this point he was a fucking made man. And then he started doing a bunch of dumpster diving movies. God forbid. Oh, what was it? Not Hard to Kill. Hard Kill. That's what it was. Had Eva Marie in it, so it was doomed to fail. Moving on from that. He wants to take his own man. You got it, Billy Bob Thornton says. Okay, AJ, there's not a job on this planet that I want to have you on, but I mean that, but I need you. And their demands are basically, after we get a montage of the various crew members and Michael Clark Duncan evading everybody, Owen Wilson being caught on some kind of farm, and Steve Buscemi being caught in a bar, and a whole bunch of other stuff, we get their demands, any crimes swept off the record. None of them want to pay taxes again, ever. One wants to stay in the White House, the Lincoln suite. And Will Patton basically wants a week's, I think like a week's vacation in the Emperor's suite in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, I assume. I don't know. And they do psych sequences where Udo Kier earns his goddamn paycheck. Udo, he's probably like the best character actor of a weird, creepy looking like voodoo doll. I swear to God, he's a living voodoo doll. He looks exactly the same in almost every goddamn movie, maybe just a little more gray hair. Steve Buscemi steals all of it. Of course, Owen Wilson saying, you know what pisses me off is people who think that Jethro Tull is just a guy in a band. Who's Jethro Tull? I think I can name like 2 Jethro Tull songs, and it's late, so I really can't honestly think of the titles right now. What's your favorite Jethro Tull song? Do you know who the fuck Jethro Tull is? Are any of them still alive? So anyway, they gotta be, their training is condensed to 12 days. Because despite the fact we've had 18 days, 6 days have passed. 6 days have passed. They are really not on the ball here. So Sweet Emotion plays because Aerosmith, this was pretty much the movie that saved Aerosmith's goddamn career. Well, that's not true. Walk This Way actually kind of saved it, but this helped bring them back more to prominence. Even though they were making some hits, this helped. Sweet Emotion, one of their better hits. Love in the Elevator, or Love in an Elevator. One of those. Something About an Elevator is one of my favorite hits. Such a great hit, one of my favorites, that I can't even remember the actual name of the title because I know music. That's What I Call Music. Remember now That's What I Call Music? They got to like volume 69 and they should have stopped. So, they're basically getting all this training and everything. There's this blonde named Watts that, oops, fucking gorgeous, by the way. God, that actress is gorgeous. She says, These thrusters keep you on the ground, so if I kick you in the balls and you can't work them, then you won't go flowing away. And Steve Buscemi says, so when do we start training for that? I feel called out for kinks. Anyway, then we, basically their ideas are going to slingshot around the moon to the moon! And then they're going to dock on the thing. Not because the debris will be taken away by the moon's gravitational pull. That fucking won't! It's science, we know science. And they talk about the most unpredictable environment. Owen Wilson's, scariest environment imaginable. Thanks, that's all he had to say. This is a year after he got eaten by an anaconda, by the way. And a year after John Voight got eaten by an anaconda. One could argue that actually he was the dummy that got thrown up, because he has not looked the same since, and he's a piece of shit. Moving on. They gotta detonate the nuke, drill 800 feet, detonate the nuke before zero barrier, or game over. So AJ is with Grace in some area, like a hollowed out rocket, and gross, Harry's watching. What are you doing, Harry? No, don't watch your daughter do that. I mean, it's a genuine scene, and then a sudden proposal, if he comes back. And, well, we all helped raise her. We all feel like some daddies or whatever. Michael Clark Duncan saying the word daddy is just funny. I don't know why. And now they really start training. They're training underwater. AJ gets stubborn and blows something. You're going to blow this. How dare you blow this underwater? I knew a girl that could do that, and I can't say anything else. But their last day on Earth, they're going to go nuts. Everybody's going to go nuts. Animal crackers are not supposed to go there. I hate animal crackers. Animal crackers need to be wiped off the face of the earth. Frosted, just with sprinkles, the cookie kind. I don't care. I hate animal crackers forevermore. God damn it, Michael Bay. How dare you do that? How dare you, sir? Should have his directorial license taken away. And then, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing plays. Well, the goddamn animal crackers are being... Why? Why? That was more horrifying than any horror movie I saw in the 90s. And I love Scream. Make peace, go to a strip club. With some... Well, actually, she's French, but I thought she was Russian because I really can't tell the difference. And... Oh, yeah, Steve Buscemi takes out a $100,000 loan shark, loan, because he's not going to come back to Earth. Except he's one of the few that does. Ha ha! So, AJ's not really doing anything except proposing to Grace. They all get arrested. And now a piece hits the southeast area, and everybody's dead. Everybody's just dead in this random Southeast Asia area. It could be China, it could be Taiwan, it could be anywhere. Could be the Bering Sea, because who lives in a pineapple under the Bering Sea? I don't know. China, SpongeBob SquarePants totally screwed that up. And it's in the public, so now everybody's panicking. There's looting, there's rioting, but not like in Moonfall, where mounting moon terror had gripped the cities. Mounting moon terror was an actual name. An actual name. It was an actual phrase that somebody got paid to write. Check out my Moonfall review on the Real Awesome Movie Reviews playlist. They're leaving on a jet plane, and I don't know when I'll be back again. I understand Aaliyah said the same thing 3 years later, and she wasn't back again. Okay, now that I pissed off every Aaliyah fan left in the world, all three of you that might be watching this, it was kind of a cool montage. I don't know why that song wasn't released as a... I don't know why it wasn't released as a song on the soundtrack. Assuming it wasn't, it might have been. I had the soundtrack years ago. So, let's talk about the fact that the president starts talking and says, I speak to you not as a president, but as a citizen for all humanity. But is it the last manatee? One of the people I interact with watched the review this long, she is going to hate me for saying that. And she knows who she is. I'm not going to say anything else. And slow-mo in a Michael Bay movie, I'm shocked. Ow. And then they launch, and they're having issues because once they get to this Russian space station, Lev, short for lever, short for lever, short for Leviathan, Space Leviathan. I now demand to see Space Leviathan. And I don't mean Batista's OVW character in space. Again, old wrestling fans are dying laughing in the comments. Remember the movie Leviathan? God, it was shit. Let's get back to this. So they were trying to get CO2, liquid CO2 as fuel, and obviously things are going wrong because the space station's been up there a while. There's a leak, and they're not pressurized enough, and oh no, AJ and Lev are going to be killed, except they get on this particular ship, and the Blue Flamer decides to attack them. Shout out to the MXC fans watching this. And they manage to get away. And everybody's accounted for until they get behind the moon, where the mounting moon terror was no longer no doubt lurking, or no longer lurking. Who knows? It went down to Earth. So they get assaulted by stuff in the comet's tail, easy for me to say, and then in the meteor's tail. And why is a moon rock, thicker than Earth rock? Because it's a little meteor. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry. I had to reference an old Futurama episode. So they got 17 hours left, by the way, by this point. And debris is assaulting both these ships. It assaults the Independence and whatever the other one is. I don't remember, and it's not important for the purposes of this review. I've lost thrusters. You know, that happens to every guy at a certain age. Not that I would know anything about it. Would I lie? Possibly. And one rocket, there's like a couple people left. There's AJ, there's Bear, Michael Clark Duncan's character, and Lev. He was not left behind. Ow, I deserve that. But now they have to drill. Now the other crew, Bruce Willis's crew, they land in a bad spot, basically on a goddamn iron plate, where they're going to wreck their equipment trying to drill harder. And also the meteor's coming apart. And this is like Dr. Seuss's worst nightmare, says Steve Buscemi. And we're going to chew this bitch up, but then, that goes tits up because equipment starts getting destroyed. 57 feet instead of 200, and they got a long way to go and not much time to get there. So let's remote detonate the nuke. Let's have the president call that. Keith David tries to do something, and then Truman, a.k.a. Billy Bob Thornton's character, says, Hey, nerdy guy. The one nerdy guy here in NASA. There's only one. Kill the Link. Okay, I will. Well, excuse me, princess. Not that Link. And that's a couple more minutes to get the comms up. They manage to disable the bomb just before it's able to be remote detonated. And where Harry's yelling at him, like, I will make 800 feet, but you gotta help me. And they had 2 seconds left before the thing blew up. And they got a lot to dig up here. And basically, one of their guys ends up... the reason they decided to blow the nuke, or Sharp is going to blow the nuke, this character Sharp, is because, well, this guy Max got sent into space. Because they hit the Blue Flamer again. The Blue Flamer is the worst offender of all. And then, basically, AJ, Bear, and Lev have to jump this canyon. You ever heard of Evel Knievel? Oh, I've never seen Star Wars, which was... It was kind of funny, I guess, and also funny J.J. Abrams ended up directing 2 of the last 3 Star Wars movies. So, they decide to turn off the thrusters and just float. Smoke. Not now, Terry. They decide to float. Probably should take it easy on this hand signal right there. And then they're basically going to just do the thrusters and they're going to go down. Here's the problem, though. They're on a freezy side of the goddamn meteor where the fuel lines freeze. So they have to heat them up and they have to bash it. Lev's out there while they're spinning, or not spinning around, but floating around. And they manage to get the thrusters down just in time and land. And then they have the vehicle and they're able to get there and help Harry continue to drill. And, well, yeah, that doesn't that goes well for a little bit. Rockhound, at one point, Steve Buscemi's character, gets a Gatling gun that has laser focus and shoots, and decides to blow apart parts of the meteor, because he has space dementia. Also, if you looked at a guy like that, you would think that he would probably be the first one to crack. So, when Max flies away, Max flew away at this point, by the way, then the other vehicle arrives. They're going to do this. A lot of this movie kind of blends together, so apologies, even though I just watched it. Some of it blends together because some of it's absolutely kind of fucking shit. AJ decides to push through the gas. They get to 800 feet, and now they're going to launch the nuke. after they get all the shaft out of there. When you have a giant shaft down in a giant hole, it's going to take a while to get it out of there. Trust me, I don't know about that at all, because average is just another word for small. Moving on. The nuke, basically, the remote detonator is broken. Somebody's going to have to stay behind. Who's it going to be? Let's draw straws. It's AJ. Oh no, it's going to be Harry, because Harry says, go take care of my girl. Get the fuck out of here. I'm old. You're young. Go do shit. And then he has an emotional thing. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to lie to you. And it's like, I always thought of you as a son, AJ, but, oh, Grace, he's going to take care of you and everything. And then, oh, I'm sorry, they tried to get all emotional, and God, it would be so sad if it wasn't so fucking shit, and if Liv Tyler could goddamn act her way out of a wet paper bag. Except she can't. How has she had a 20-plus year career? Anyway, Harry ends up blowing up the thing finally, just as they get away, just with a couple seconds before the zero barrier is hit, and the meteor parts fly away, and then everything is fine. Also, a piece of the meteor hit France earlier, so whatever, no big goddamn loss there. It hit Paris, so now the Eiffel Tower, okay, I'm sorry. But Harry dies. I would have liked an end credit scene where Harry's floating around in space. Oh, great, God, how the fuck am I going to get back there? Die Hard in space, they should have done that. But anyway, everybody's happy. AJ and Grace are together, they get married. And yay, love conquers all. Fuck Michael Bay for doing this goddamn shit. Yes, there are parts of it that are entertaining. It's also an example of Michael Bay at his worst. Yay, Armageddon, and I don't want to miss a thing. I will never watch this movie again. 2.5 hours. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charmatlin. I'll see you soon.